Rami X Packer, and if you guys all enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, share the video to a friend who likes videos or just anime content in general. Subscribe if you're new here, as I want to hit 9K by the end of August and 14K by the end of the year. And with that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. And yeah, check out my second channel down below where I also make what instant discussion videos, and we can now get into the recap. In the last part, we basically left off with Naruto and Sasuke, as well as Sakura, running through the Forest of Death, and we'll pick up right there. Naruto, and basically just Team 7, would be running through the Forest of Death, as eventually, Naruto would feel a monstrous chakra, but not one that was unknown to him. Not one that was unfamiliar. It was too familiar. Naruto got a bad feeling in his stomach as he thought of the people that it could be. No, it couldn't be anybody in the leaf. And Naruto thinking that made him know exactly who and what it was. Or, per se, it. It was Orochimaru, one of the 3 Sannin. Naruto would then stop in his tracks as Sakura and Sasuke would ask what's wrong. Naruto would then shake his head, kind of just like, I guess you could say, brushing it off as some sort of random feeling, as he knew deep within his heart that it was Orochimaru. Naruto would then continue through the Forest of Death, as eventually 2 kunai would be thrown at them. These kunai were thrown by Orochimaru himself. These kunai would hit Naruto in his back, as him being off guard, basically, as well as the fact that he's kind of uneasy, it would allow for Orochimaru to take advantage of that and hit Naruto. Naruto would then fall to the ground for a little bit, as Sasuke and Sakura would immediately get on the defensive to help out their comrade, that being Naruto. Naruto would then tell them that they can go on ahead, and he'll be perfectly fine, as he would then unleash attack mode. Naruto would then laugh to himself. This isn't something that you two should concern yourself with. Family problems. Naruto would then feel a surge in his chakra as he was kind of scared. The Nine Tails was also just a bit scared because of how scared Naruto was, and Naruto, kind of being at sync with the Nine Tails, was able to give himself a bit more power. Naruto would then rush towards Orochimaru as they would both clash. Naruto with the kunai in his hand, and Orochimaru the same. Orochimaru would then smirk. I didn't expect to see you here, Naruto. It's been a while, hasn't it, Orochimaru? Now, tell me why you're in this forest in the first place. Well, let's just say this. An Uchiha, a certain Uchiha is in this forest, and I need him. I assume you mean as a vessel. Well, there's only 2 Uchihas alive. Naruto would then unsheath his blade from his scroll as he would continue. One is Itachi Uchiha. Naruto would move his blade. Basically, he would move his blade to face himself as he would look at his reflection. Naruto would then activate his Sharingan as he would continue. Like I said, one is Itachi Uchiha, the other is Sasuke. And Itachi is not in this forest. So, I can't let you just harm my comrades, can I? Naruto would then appear in front of Orochimaru, who wouldn't be too surprised at Naruto's speed, but he definitely knew that Naruto got a lot stronger and could actually feel it in Naruto's aura. Naruto would then continue to clash with Orochimaru, as at this point they were on even ground. Sorry for any unintentional background noise, I'm just in a situation, if you will. Naruto would then tell Orochimaru that he can't continue to fight him, at least not at this moment, because he needs to catch back up with his team. Orochimaru would smirk. Well then, if their lives are so important to you, you should have thought this through. 3 ninja would then appear behind Sakura and Sasuke. These ninja are Dosu, Zaku, and Kin, the 3 sound ninja who Orochimaru instructed to basically try and kill Sasuke and Sasuke's team in the original Forest of Death. Because, well, if Sasuke, I guess you could say, wasn't acclimated to the curse mark, well then, he wasn't a viable body, if you will. But these 3 sound ninja are now behind Sakura and Sasuke, and Sasuke doesn't have the curse mark in this timeline. Nor does he really have much more power this Sasuke is about 1.25 times stronger than his original counterpart, and that's just from having the one Tomoe. Anyhow, Naruto would then decide that he can't just sit around, as he would immediately go all out. Naruto thought about it. Is he in a situation where he can go all out? Because if he were to go all out, he might destroy a few things, like trees and things of the sort. But if only trees were on the line, and nobody was really around, he could unleash his true power. Naruto would then smirk, as he would have a little giggle. Orochimaru, I once considered you to be my father. But I have a new old man I need to protect. His name is Hiruzen Sarutobi. That old man is your father now? Wow, how interesting. More of a father than you could ever be, Orochimaru. Now, like I said, I have people to protect. Naruto would then grab his second blade, as Naruto has 2 short swords. Naruto would then feel a massive surge in power, as his body would start to grow in muscle mass just a little bit. His teeth would then become fang-like, and his eyes would have a bit of dark shadow around them, similar to when he goes into the 2, 3, and even 1 Tails chakra modes. Naruto's eyes would then become slit-like, as in the middle it was slit-like, but on the outside there was Tomoe, because he has the Sharingan active at the moment. Naruto would then unleash everything. He had entered Assault mode / Berserk mode. Naruto would then rush towards Orochimaru, slamming him into a few trees, but he wasn't done. Naruto would then appear behind Orochimaru, kicking him forward, and then would appear in front of him again, slamming him into the ground. Orochimaru would then slowly get out, and basically just get up and get to his senses, as he would look around, feeling out his environment. Orochimaru would then slither around Naruto, as Naruto would just grunt, looking around. You see, the Nine Tails was semi-in control here, so Naruto's not really as sane, if you will. He's not as in control. Naruto would then look around, as he would immediately pounce towards Orochimaru, grabbing him by his tail. It was kind of shown that Orochimaru has a sort of tail thing, where when he kind of, like, slivers around, I don't know if there's too much common knowledge, but when he kind of slivers around, he kind of, like, moves with this, like, tail thingy. It's kind of hard to explain, but so Naruto would grab him by that, as he would then tell Orochimaru that he won't escape. He would then slam Orochimaru into the ground, repeatedly lifting him up by his tail and just slamming him. Eventually, Orochimaru would look half dead, as he would create an exoskeleton and just escape that body and just, like, kind of rebirth himself, if you will, as he's shown to do many times. Naruto would then roar, as Orochimaru would cover his ears. Many trees would fall down behind Orochimaru, and Orochimaru would be sent flying with them. Naruto would then start to walk over to Orochimaru, as he would then open his mouth as wide as he could. A ball of chakra would then appear, as Naruto would then yell out, "Tailed Beast Bomb." You see, since Naruto has half of the Nine Tails' power under control, I believe he would be able to fire off a Tailed Beast Bomb, one that's semi-perfect, since it is half of the Nine Tails' chakra. Naruto would then fire off the Tailed Beast Bomb, as Orochimaru would put his hands in a cross-like formation to block. Eventually, Orochimaru would realize how powerful this attack was as it neared and basically as it got closer to him, as he would put up the 3, to my knowledge, the Rokushudo walls. I'm not really sure if I'm saying that right. My apologies. But the walls that he used to block Naruto's Tailed Beast Bomb in the 4-tail state, like he did in Shippuden. These walls would kind of block the damage, but Naruto's Tailed Beast Bomb was a bit too powerful, slamming right through them, and even hitting Orochimaru, sending him far out, and basically just out of the Forest of Death entirely. Naruto would then start to pant heavily, as he would revert back to normal by his command. Naruto would then look at his hands, as he would realize that he had done a bit more damage to himself than he had wanted to. You see, Naruto doesn't only just use the Berserk transformation, or assault mode, whatever you want to call it, to boost his power, but he also uses it to boost his senses, etc., etc. But he doesn't just use it any time, because first, he doesn't have control of himself, and second, his body really aches and it feels a lot of pain, because there is repercussions to many great skills, and Naruto's is no exception. Naruto will then decide to make it back to his team as he would activate the One Tails Chakra mode, getting sped up, if you will, because he's faster than him himself in base form, as he would then eventually approach Sakura and Sasuke a minute later. He would then see them basically about to die to Dosu, Zaku, and Kin as he would appear. Dosu, Zaku, and Kin immediately recognized Naruto because, well, his appearance didn't change too much, only his outfit did. And since Zaku, Kin, and Dosu are Orochimaru's subordinates, if you will, and are from the Sound Village, they know who Naruto is, and they know how powerful he is. All of them would then start to sweat, as Zaku, being more confident, at least in my opinion, than Dosu and Kin, would laugh it off, telling Dosu and Kin not to be crybabies, and that it's 3 of them versus 1 of him. They would then kind of get back to their senses as they would decide to fire everything off at Naruto. They would use all of their strongest jutsus as Naruto would then enter defense mode, using basically chakra armor to protect himself entirely. Naruto would then smirk as he would immediately switch to attack mode. I never knew Sound Ninja were this weak. Well, maybe that's why I left. Orochimaru, at this point, as we're now switching perspective, would get up as he would be in a dazed state, looking around and realizing that he was almost about to die, as he was very bloody and had a few injuries. Orochimaru would then kind of heal up a little, as he would then decide to get back to the Fourth Death, because the main reason of coming was to put a curse mark on Sasuke, and if he could, even Naruto. Orochimaru would then kind of plan his route back to the Fourth of Death and to where Dosu, Kin, and Zaku should be, as he knew that Naruto would try to get there. Naruto would then immediately throw a punch which would hit Dosu, sending him flying and knocking him out. Naruto would then appear behind Kin as he would tell her that he doesn't really want to hurt her, but since it's come down to it, she is an enemy. Naruto would then slam her into the ground as she would then pass out as well. Naruto would then appear beside Zaku as he would tell Zaku to let off his strongest attack. Since he was a bit cocky earlier, he wants to see how strong he thinks he is and how much power he can actually use. Zaku is not one to, not take somebody up on a challenge, as he would then decide to challenge Naruto, throwing his strongest attack at him with some sound waves. Naruto wouldn't even feel the need to block as it would hit him. Naruto would only block before with his defense mode because it was all 3 of them. Just Zaku, it was nothing, at least to Naruto. Naruto would then pat Zaku on the shoulder as he would smirk. You did well, Zaku, but just not well enough. Naruto would then put his hand on Zaku's chest as he would yell out, Wind Style, Air Palm. Zaku would then be sent flying and would be in the worst condition far beyond Dosu and Kin, due to the fact that Naruto actually used a jutsu on Dosu. On Kin, or sorry, not on Dosu, my apologies, on Zaku. Because on Kin and Dosu, he just kind of used some taijutsu and some pretty basic taijutsu, if I do say so myself. Naruto would then ask if Sakura and Sasuke were okay, as they would nod, thanking Naruto for his help, and telling him that they may not be alive, or may have not been alive, if Naruto didn't come right in the nick of time. Naruto would laugh. I'm sure something could have happened. You are an Uchiha, are you not, Naruto? Naruto was asked this question by Sasuke. Okay, let me explain. I know this might be kind of confusing because of just how I worded it just now, but basically, Sasuke is asking Naruto if he's an Uchiha. He's basically kind of hinting to the fact that he already knows such things, as Naruto would go dead in the face, as he didn't really know how to respond. Was he an Uchiha? Technically, he had the DNA of an Uchiha running through his blade, but God damn, I don't know what's wrong with me today. My words, I apologize for that. Anyhow, as he technically has the blood of an Uchiha running through his veins, right? So, Sasuke would ask Naruto this question, and Naruto didn't really know how to respond, as he wasn't really sure on the right answer. Naruto would then say that he's not an Uchiha, as Sasuke would say that Naruto's lying. Naruto would ask why Sasuke thinks such a thing, as Sasuke would explain. You would have to be an Uchiha. No person who's not an Uchiha should be able to use the Sharingan. And so, well, look at me. Do I look like an Uchiha? My hair, it's stark blonde. And, well, I just don't have black hair. I can't be an Uchiha. I don't even know why you'd think I am one. Well, I guess it was wrong of me to assume, but I could have sworn. Even though I might have been a little bit dazed, you definitely used a Sharingan when you fought Haku. So where did you get it from? I'm sick of seeing people with my clan's dojutsu. Let's just say somebody gave it to me. Or forced it into my DNA. Now, I won't answer your question at the moment because it's a bit confidential. But one day you will figure out. I see. I guess we all have secrets, Sasuke would say. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura would then start to go towards the exit of the Forest of Death before Orochimaru would kind of just creep up on behind them and hide his chakra so that they basically didn't know us. He would create a shadow clone which would bite into both Sasuke and Naruto. Naruto and Sasuke would both fall to the ground in agonizing pain as Sasuke would yell out, just like he had in canon originally when he had been bit with the curse mark. Naruto wouldn't yell out, but he would grit his teeth as he would curse himself for being so stupid as not to make sure that Orochimaru couldn't get back up and couldn't pull such a trick. As he did know that Orochimaru's goal was Sasuke, but he didn't know that Orochimaru's goal was Sasuke and him. Which wasn't technically Orochimaru's goal. His goal was just to get Sasuke, but Naruto was a bit of a bonus, you know? Naruto would then fall to the ground as at the time he was standing. As he would then start to pant heavily, pushing chakra into the spot of the curse mark. Basically, he's pushing all of his Nine-Tails chakra to where Orochimaru had bit him, as he would then create 200 clones to go after Orochimaru and just basically chase him out of the village, or at least attempt to. Naruto was pushing this Kyuubi chakra to the curse mark because, in theory, Kyuubi chakra eats away at the curse mark, or at least should be able to, so the Kyuubi chakra would eat away at the curse mark and would kind of start to diminish it as it would start to fade. Naruto would then tell Sasuke to come here, as he would put the curse mark on Sasuke's body. Sasuke would then tell Naruto that he thanks him dearly, as he was in a lot of pain, and he didn't really know why. He didn't know one bite could cause so much pain. Naruto would shake his head. That was no ordinary bite. That was the bite of the curse mark. Something you really don't want to have. But if that's the case, it might mean that Orochimaru thinks you're not strong enough. And frankly, I don't want to get you guys into any more trouble. So I might need you, and you, Sakura, to get a lot stronger. You see, since you guys are my teammates, I do feel comfortable telling you this. I have something known as the Nine-Tails within me. That's that orange, almost demonic power of mine. I see. Well, that explains a lot now, doesn't it? Sasuke would say. Naruto would then nod. Not only that, but that chakra may get me hunted. A long time ago, I met somebody. I thank him, and I am in deep gratitude to him as well. This person is Itachi, for any of you wondering. You see, he helped me out when I was in a bad state, when I was vulnerable. That man who had bit us, his name was Orochimaru, one of the 3 Sannin, a Kage-level ninja, and a high one at that. If he wanted to, he could become Hokage. If he was good, that is. You see, Orochimaru was at one point like a father to me. He wasn't my true father, but that's how it was. I then met a man, a powerful man at that, who showed me the truth. Showed me that my father was none other than the 4th Hokage, Minato Namikaze, and my mother was the former Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tails, Kushina Uzumaki. And at that time, the only living full Uzumaki. Now you may question why I just said that and why I had Naruto say that. Well, it's pretty simple. You see, Kushina is technically the only full Uzumaki living at that time, even though Nagato is alive. You see, unless I'm wrong, and Nagato's dad is just like 60 years old. Nagato's dad had white hair, which means he is not an Uzumaki. Or he's just 60 years old. You get the point. But his mom had stark red hair, or just, you know, like spitting image of Kushina's hair, or Mito's hair, or whoever you want to compare it to. But she had red hair. So I believe that Nagato's mother was a full Uzumaki, and his father was some other clan, or just, you know, a commoner, a villager, you know, really just depends. Anyhow, Sasuke was surprised at what Naruto had said. He didn't know that his father was the fourth Hokage. Are you sure, Naruto? Yes, I'm sure. The person who showed me the reality, the person who showed me the truth, was none other than Itachi Uchiha. Sasuke would be so surprised that he would almost gasp, as he would then ask Naruto if he was serious. Naruto would nod. That's why I thank Itachi, rather than blame him for a massacre that I know that he did not do upon his own will. But how do you know that? I don't, Sasuke. I choose to believe. And I know it's hard for you. I can't even come to think about the hardships that you have faced. Everybody you've known that was in your clan is now gone, thanks to him. And you witnessed it all. So I sincerely apologize. I sincerely apologize if I ever made you feel as if I was undermining what you felt on that day. Anyhow, that doesn't mean that I feel bad for you. You wouldn't be as strong as you are now without Itachi. I see. Well, that doesn't mean I'm gonna take away my hatred towards him. I will avenge my clan. You can continue to tell yourself that, and I will not stop you. Anyhow, shall we leave this forest? As they left the forest, Naruto would explain that he may be at risk to certain attackers and people like that, so he needs them to get a lot stronger, as they would then exit the forest. And with that being said, every fight in the preliminaries is going the same, except for maybe Sakura versus Ino, which Sakura has a slight bit more advantage, because she now knows that she needs to get stronger, so she needs to push herself beyond her limits. And the Chunin exams are going to go the same. Not all of the Chunin exams, though, because I just don't really want to focus on too many things in the Chunin exams, like all the other fights. But the other fights do go the same, like in canon. Every fight is the same, basically, except for Naruto versus Neji and Sasuke versus Gaara. But with that being said, I hope you guys all enjoy. So basically, where we're going to leave off is Naruto versus Neji, and that's where we're going to start in the fifth part, I believe. And with that being said, you guys all enjoyed. Make sure to like, share the video to our friends, like, videos, just make content in general. Subscribers, I want to hit 9,000 subscribers by the end of August and 40K by the end of the year. And with that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Rami X, check out my second channel down below. Out.